You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Solana, the heat is streaking. Welcome everybody to episode number 70 of the Battered Heat Fans podcast. I am your host, Dave Granada, alongside me as well, Mr. Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Love your glasses. Like you said, streaking 8 of the last 11. And we beat the hottest team in the NBA last night on their home court. And I'm ready to take out the Detroit Pistons tomorrow, baby.
Well, yeah, and I want to talk about the Pistons. Before we do, yesterday was we didn't go on after the second Nets win. I mean, we figured the Nets need to be the win. And the Heat are doing everything possible to suck the fan base back in. They beat the Rockets, which a lot of people, myself included, admittedly, thought the way they've been playing, the Rockets will probably win that game. The Heat won. Then you see the Nets coming up. We both said we don't feel confident. They should beat them. The Nets are purposely tanking, but they'll somehow slip up on one of those games. They took care of business. They won convincingly both games. And then you go up against the hottest team in the NBA right now, 6-game winning streak. Everybody's talking about them. I forgot what lineup it was. They have a lineup. I don't know if it was the lineup that started yesterday, but they have a lineup that's like 20-2 when they start together. I believe it might have been the lineup that they played with yesterday. They were 20-2 up until yesterday when the five starters are healthy. And to me, that was probably the most entertaining game of the year. It felt like a playoff. We were texting during the game. It felt like a playoff game.
It did. The fans were into it. They were yelling defense. It was pretty crazy. The other important stat that we have to mention is the fact that the Heat were 1-24 going into the fourth quarter when they were down after the third quarter. 1-24.
123 or 124?
I think 1-24.
Okay.
And last night, they were able to pull it off. Going into the fourth quarter, down by 3 points, the Heat were able to turn it around. They lit a fire under themselves in the fourth quarter. Khalil Ware was fantastic. Bam Adebayo was great down the stretch. Tyler Herro was an absolute bucket yesterday. I mean, I think he was 7 of 8 from 3, or 7 of 9 from 3. It was crazy.
He was 8 for 10. He was 8 for 9. He missed the last one, I believe. He was on fire, and luckily my son and I were watching it, so it was even more fun because
he's
like
back.
He's back. He's back,
baby. Let's go.
He's back, and by pure coincidence, because he came in and the game was on. I was watching it, and it was just Tyler Herro just wouldn't miss. It was such a, and you know what? Shout out Tyler Herro because he took control of that game. He was handling the ball. He would see the double teams coming, and he didn't hesitate to pass when he needed to. He also delayed in order to get somebody open. Where there was one where he delayed when he saw a double coming, and he waited a second before he passed it out to Drew Smith for an open three. Like Tyler Herro played. There's as the best game of the season, the best game I've seen him play in a while. Even creating for others, the way he was getting into the lane, and he was so hot that he was drawing so much attention that he would get everybody kind of collapsing on him. He hit Khalil for a big alley-oop in the fourth quarter. Like, it was just a great game by Tyler Herro, man. And it was really fun to watch.
It was 9 assists, 9 rebounds to go along with those 30 points. Almost had a triple-double.
Great rebounder, though.
And he made some really, really clutch baskets in the fourth quarter. Some threes to keep us within the game when they started making a run and they went up by 6 and Tyler hit a 3 and got us to within 3. I mean, he was fantastic and that's exactly what we've wanted from him since he's been here, right? We've been wanting to see that Tyler Herro the whole time, and he finally showed up, and now, something that you mentioned, the Heat had to go 7-3 in those 10 games. Now they went 8-3 in those 11 games, and they're tied with the they're tied with the Magic right now for 7th place, and half a game back from Philadelphia, who is in 6th place, and a game and a half back from Toronto, who's in 5th place.
And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I feel like I think the top 4 teams are pretty solidified. I would love for the Heat to somehow end up in that 5th seed and give us Knicks Heat
first round matchup. Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. But like I said, that's getting ahead of ourselves. It's still a long time to go for that. Bam Adebayo, not the best first 3 quarters, but I felt like this is what I mean. You obviously want him to play consistently well all game long, but I feel like so many times we've said he played pretty well to start the game, first half, maybe even first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter he disappears, and I feel like we've said that quite a bit this year. But yesterday was the complete opposite. He had 12 points coming into the fourth quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, I mean, he ended up with what?
I think 9
24.
points, 9,
So he
10
had,
points. Yeah,
so he ended up with 24. So he ended up with 12 points in the fourth. Like Bam Adebayo had himself a great fourth quarter. There was a play where we were texting where, I think it was the shot clock was running down, so he had to take a quick shot, and he got blocked out of bounds. And then Tyler Herro go, and they talk to each other a second. They go right back to it, right back to that guy James, which looks like a fucking running back. Like he looks like a monster the
looks
way
like a
that guy's
linebacker,
built.
man. Yeah,
Holy crap, that guy's huge. But anyway, he goes right back at him, a step back, and then he just drains it. And I was like, wow, this the confidence that I'm kind of like feeling from this team, the way they're playing right now. It was just something to see. Jaime Jaquez hitting threes. Like I felt like everything. That was just a fun game. That third quarter, they both scored 40 points, the Hornets and the Heat. It was just a great game, man. It made me. I haven't been excited for playoff basketball in a while because I haven't just been thinking about it. But after last night, watching that game, the energy that came off of both those teams, like man, I'm ready for some playoff basketball.
absolutely. And shout out to the Heat fans that were in attendance or that made the trip with about 10, 12 seconds left. We heard a very loud let's go Heat chant. And yeah, I mean, it had playoff atmosphere written all over it from the get-go. Every time they made a three, the arena would go crazy. Every time the Heat made a run, the Heat fans would go crazy. And yeah, I mean, they're starting to play the right way or what we expected from them at the right time of the season, because as we know, the schedule gets a little bit harder now over the next 7 to 10 days, and they need to continue to make a run because the teams that are ahead of them, the Orlando Magic, the Toronto Raptors, and the Philadelphia 76ers, they also have tough schedules, and the Heat need to continue to make their mark on the end of the season here and continue to start moving up on the standings so that we can get out of playoff purgatory, something that we've been stuck in for the last few years.
I agree. And look, Bam said it last week. I don't want to be in the play-in. And since then, they beat Houston. They took care of the Brooklyn Nets, and they beat the Charlotte Hornets.
D
Now,
Wade
this is
called
where
them
you.
out. D Wade called the team out.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he said, you say it, but okay, go do something about it. And they're still in there. They're still in there. There's still work to be done. But they're sucking the fan base back in. Look, let's paint this picture. D Wade calls them out. You don't want to be in the play-in? Do something about it. They go ahead, they beat the Rockets. They go and take care of business against the Brooklyn Nets. They said professional win because they didn't play with their foot. They took care of business with the Nets. Then they go ahead, they beat the hottest team in the NBA, the Charlotte Hornets. If they can go ahead and play against the Detroit Pistons on Sunday and beat the Pistons in a span of 10 days, all of a sudden, you got us all back. All of a sudden, the Miami Heat fan, they might already start believing, right?
I'm already back.
I want to get ahead of ourselves. No, well, I agree. But I'm trying to be very cautious because there's a lot of bad teams that they beat in that the last month. The Brooklyn Nets included twice. But if they can go ahead, the Rockets, the Hornets, and then Detroit, I'm back. We're all back. We're all back if that happens. So this is a big chance for the Miami Heat to bring the fan base completely back and give us some energy going into that final month because the season's almost over. There's 18 games left.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the fake fans need the Detroit Piston win, but the real fans know that the Heat are back already, and they're ready to make this final run at the end of the season, and like I said, get out of playoff purgatory. I believe they're going to do it. I believe they'll finish in the 6th or the 5th seed, depending on how it goes. But I have faith in this team, man. They're playing better. Obviously, last night you get a big win, missing two of your starters essentially, because Norman Powell continues to be out with his groin injury. You had Andrew Wiggins, who didn't play on the second night of a back-to-back because he has some knee tendonitis. So you get that big win without your players. You start getting your players back, and Danny, this team starts to get extremely dangerous. Especially, you have all of the media now starting to talk, saying you don't want to face the Heat in the playoffs. Even if it's in the play-in, you just don't want to face the Heat. The Heat are a team that can scare absolutely anybody. They're so up and down. If they get hot, they can beat anybody. If they get cold, they can get blown out by anybody. But the way that they've been playing over the last 7 to 10 days, I mean, this is the type of Miami Heat basketball that you want to see.
Drew Smith getting the fourth quarter was a surprise to me, but what a great call. The way he was getting in all the passing lanes, he picked LaMelo Ball's pocket late in the fourth quarter. Um, he had a big putback also, I think, off of the Tyler Herro miss. Like, Drew Smith is just that unsung hero, right? Nobody's gonna talk about him, but he's just a solid guy. He's a dog. He's a dog. It was just a great game, man. I'm really excited. If the Heat were to lose to the Detroit Pistons, you don't think that kind of takes the win out of the sails a little bit?
No. I think it all depends on what happens in the standings. I think right now, every single game, you're going to be looking at the standings. You're going to be looking at who's ahead of you, who they play, how they're doing. And no, man, if you lose to the Pistons, who have been the best team in the East basically all year, I don't think there's anything to be upset about. I mean, look, you've already beat them once. Can you beat them again? Absolutely. But if you don't, there's still a lot of winnable games that are left on the schedule, and they have to give it all in the rest of the 18, 19 games that they have left. If they can win 10 of the final 18, I think they'll be out of the play.
They got the Pistons on Sunday at 6 p.m. start. Then they got the Wizards, the Bucks, the Magic, and the Hornets again, and the Lakers. So those are the next 6 games. There are no back-to-backs in those next 6 games. So we'll see. I think those are just about all winnable games. They don't, outside of the Pistons game, I feel like Miami should be able to hang and beat all other 5 of those opponents. And just for the record, the Miami Heat are well, they're not tied, but they have one more win than the Sixers, but one less. I'm sorry, one. No, they have one more win and one more loss.
Yeah, so they're
than
half a game
the
back.
Sixers. Yeah. So, and the Sixers, who do they got coming up? The Sixers have the Hawks, which they'll probably beat, the Cavs, the Grizzlies, the Pistons, the Nets, the Blazers, the Nuggets, the Kings. Well, we'll see. It's going to be a lot of scoreboard watching in the next month. But I mean, the playoffs are coming up quick. The Heat are finally putting things together. And I guess I'll end it with this question. Norman Powell comes back. What do you do with Tyler Herro?
It's a tough question. I think you have to play Norman Powell off the bench for a little bit and see what happens, and continue to feed off of this hot lineup that we've created to start the games. The Heat are averaging 31 points in the first quarter. Has a lot to do with who's been starting, especially over the last week or two without Norman Powell. And I would continue to ride the hot hand. I would continue to ride exactly what you've been doing, and slowly bring in Norman Powell. Remember, he's going to be coming off of a groin injury, something that could be re-aggravated pretty simply. So you want to try to hold him off as much as possible, get him healthy and ready for the playoffs, because he's an important player to this team and somebody that you're going to need down the stretch. So I would hope over the next 7 to 10 days that they hold him out, they continue to get him healthy, get his groin strengthened so that it doesn't get re-aggravated, because you need everybody down the stretch, especially Norman Powell, your all-star, the guy who's been clutch basically for you all season long. And not only that, but you need Andrew Wiggins too. So hopefully, he was just resting for precaution. There's nothing, truly wrong with him. And look, it's going to be interesting, but it's a really good problem for Eric Spoelstra to have.
Oh, for sure. Just for the sake of playing devil's advocate, if they beat the Pistons and they're just streaking, they're playing great, does Norman Powell get the Tyler Herro treatment and they say, No. Don't hurry back. No. Don't mess up this chemistry. Make sure he comes off the bench, like from the fan base, or is that only reserved for Tyler Herro?
Man, that's such a tough question. I mean, I think the fan base is just so streaky, kind of like the Heat, and so yeah, they're probably going to give him the Tyler Herro treatment.
Yeah, because if he comes back and then they lose that first game just by coincidence, I remember when Tyler Herro came back and they just lost a game. Everybody's like, "Oh man," everybody's gonna say that it's Tyler Herro's fault, even though he played well. But you know what? I think that Norman Powell's knew he was an all-star. I don't think he gets it. I think Tyler Herro is kind of just this has just been something going over the last few years. But regardless, man, these are good problems to have. To have a problem when you have two all-stars and you're not sure who to start, that's a good problem to have. I still think Pelle Larsson should be in the starting lineup though, and then one of those guys should be coming off the bench. But that's a Spoelstra problem. But good things coming. We're all feeling good. We're vibing, and man, I can't wait for some playoff basketball. I'm thinking baseball also because baseball's right around the corner also.
Now you're thinking about
Lana,
the World Baseball Classic. That's what you're thinking about.
well, yeah, I was watching that. Aaron Judge big home run. USA beat Brazil last night. Yes, I was watching that also. Solana, any final words?
No, just we're streaking. We're streaking, and we're running through the quad, streaking, running through the quad, just like they say in old school. And hey, man, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Obviously, these episodes are so much better after a Heat win, much better after we go streaking for 4 games. And big game coming up on Sunday, Danny. Big game. They need to win. They need to make another statement game win. And Sunday's a great day to do it against the best team in the East, against Cade Cunningham, against our good old friend Duncan Robinson, Jalen Duren. They have a good team, man. They have a good team, but the Heat already beat them once, and I believe they can beat them again.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a fun Sunday matchup. And remember, set your clocks because we set the clocks back 1 hour. So these morning shows might be a little tough to do this coming week because it's going to be technically at 5 a.m. But regardless, we'll keep it rocking and rolling.
By the way, time goes forward, Danny.
Does it? I thought we set the clocks back.
Spring forward, fall back. Spring forward. So
you're right. It's going to get darker later. You're right.
Exactly. So the shows will be a little later. They'll be almost at 7 or 8 a.m.
That's right, because like at 6 or 7 o'clock, the sun will still be out. You're 100% right. Yep. Okay. So even better. Okay, we're good. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we will be back Monday morning talking about, is that 5 in a row?
5 in a row.
Until the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe. So until the next one, have a good one.